G'day again. Just to follow up on that cleaning, there's the standpipe and the pipe that I use to drain as the radial. Cleaning the bottom there, it's been purged. This one is, as you can see, that's what I do. I just put a fishnet over it. All of that is green matter. And you can see this is just about to break the surface there. You can see, hit that valve, a little bit of water loss. That was because I was diving for the camera, but you can see it dies down pretty quickly. And what I do there is adjust that back a little bit. I've got a little mark there. You can see I lost a little bit of water there, but now the system is running again. So that valve's turned off, the valve is turned off. That's the water pump that flows. That's how to regulate the water pressure and provide oxygenation. So you can see that in here, we're back to having 2 outlets returning water. And the way that that's organised in there, the directions, is so that it pushes all of that material, the solids, down into this side where the solids lift outlet normally sits. So I'm going to try now quickly just to take that off and fit up the solids lift outlet again, which just connects like that, swings into the water down there. Just push on it, make sure it's tight, and there we go. I will just skim the surface and look at that on the camera at the same time. And just try and skim out a bit of that while it's floating around. I gave that a bit of a touch up with the hose, the slow touch up with the hose. But what will happen over the next little while is all of that solid material that I'm gathering in there will settle back to the bottom. Here's my thermometer, and you can't read it there, but it's registering at about 24-ish, 25 degrees, which isn't too bad. It lives there. You can see floating on the surface, so I just skim that off. Do that after I've given them a solids feed, a green feed, sorry. I will come in and try and scoop off. And it's just the veins and such that they don't eat out of the leafy greens. So now you can see that height there. And there's a height in there that I play to as well, which is making sure that that pipe is, that outlet there is only about 8 mil. It's a 1/4 inch. No, not even. 1/3 of an inch below the top of the pipe, so that when it sucks, it's airing that as well. So the water that's coming out of that pipe there and all of the others is already oxygenating. It's oxygenating up here, it's oxygenating as it falls over there, it's oxygenating again as it goes out that outlet there, then it's oxygenating again when it hits the rocks there, and then this backflow, as you can see, is oxygenating that again. So it works. I'm not running any other pumps, air pumps, just the water. I'll have to wait and see how it goes once the fish get big, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, it's a beautiful view. Where I live, this is probably the greenest garden in town, purely because we're running it aquaponically and not relying on dirt. So it's 20 to 1 or so. And the sun is still directly overhead. That's through 70% block out shade cloth. It's even doubled over there so that I don't get as little shade as possible on the tanks. You can still see there's a bit of murk lurking, but if you watch that for a moment as well, you'll be able to see it get sucked in possibly to the slow. it's been working fabulously. The fish swim around in there, they like that little bit of structure, and they tend to stir up anything that's going on in there. There's a good shot of the oxygenation in the water. You can see the bubbles there on the backs as those fish provide a backdrop, and that's where I try to leave that level so that I've got oxygenation happening there and oxygenation happening out of that one, and then the direction of that nozzle and the direction of that nozzle push all of the solids down into the corner there. In fact, that needs to just be tweaked a little bit over there, and I've had no dramas with the solids being lifted. You could see how many solids, or how much of a solid burden there was in the bottom of that radial flow. So again, it just continues over there. There's some of that green organic matter float. Not worried about it, it just breaks down. So there we go. Now that system I'm just leaving off at the moment because I need to pump the water out of that one into a couple of those grow beds so I can reduce the weight on that. I need to cut the piping there so it can be inserted higher, and then on the far side I need to readjust the piping as well to a 40mm outlet. So I might get a lot of that done today, I might not. It depends on how I feel as I soak up the sun in 40 degrees heat. Alright, bye.